What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Volleyball Source channel. It is time for the long-awaited 2023 Volleyball Nations League Women's Player Draft. My name is Rob St. Clair from Chicago. That is Everett Delorme live in Toronto. This is going to be fun. We did one of these for the men when we were together in Ottawa a couple weeks ago. Then we did our men's draft for the entire 2010s decade. This time we're taking it over to the women's side. We are going to draft our teams of 12 players each, and we're going to see whose team is better by the end of it. But Everett, just like before, there are two rules. One, obviously, that you and I cannot draft any of the same players. And the second and more interesting rule is that once one of us has drafted a player from a country, we are not allowed to draft another player from that same country. So only one player per country per person. I think that's going to make this really, really interesting. And the last caveat is these are our pool of players that we're able to draft today is players that either have already played in the 2023 VNL or players that are likely to play in the 2023 VNL. So
they have to be on a roster for this week because it's the last week.
I mean, maybe the finals. I think if there's a player that might suit up for the finals, I think that is probably fair game. I've got a player that fits in that category. But like Paula Egonu, for example, is not draftable because it has been announced that she will not play the VNL, and that takes one of the best players in the world out of the equation for this video. But there are some other superstar players that haven't played yet this VNL who are playing this week. Actually, there's a match going on literally right now. It looks like Italy's up 2-1 on Brazil, which is interesting.
Brazil's up 5-2 in the third though, or fourth.
Okay, spicy.
Gabi just crushed a pipe.
Of course she did. So those are the rules. One player per country per person, and we're only drafting players that either have already played the 2023 VNL or that we think will or might play the 2023 VNL.
I'm interested for this one, Rob, because when we did the men's, it was right at the beginning of week one.
Right.
So we were just basing it all off of just their reputations. Now with this one, because we're doing it in the middle of week 3, we have 2 and a little bit weeks worth of VNL to base ourselves off of. So it's a little bit different. It's
well said. Absolutely. We've got data. We've got a bunch of matches this year. We've got stats. We've got plenty. We've got plenty to go on for to make our best possible 12-player lists.
Gabi already has 17 points.
That's pretty good.
Also, we're gonna have to look into this. For some reason, the monetization on this video, Rob, is limited. I have no idea why we would be marked down as like I don't know why this would be not suitable for most advertisers.
Says on for me. Maybe give it a refresh. I think we're doing just fine. Let's get into it. Here's what our little interface is going to look like, and we're going to take turns drafting our players. Should we do our traditional rock paper scissors to decide who goes first?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. How are we going to do this?
Let's do it.
Are we just do best like one round?
Yep.
On shoot, like you said.
On shoot.
Okay.
You call it.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
We both threw paper. Do it again.
Both threw paper. This was really tough with the with the delay on this.
Yeah, a little different not being next to each other.
Yeah. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Shit.
Scissors beats paper.
You win.
That means I win, and with my first overall pick, I'm going with a player that we already mentioned as she is playing right now, and I want Gabi. I want Gabi from Brazil as my first outside hitter. I'm so happy to have this pick. I think she is clearly the best outside hitter in the world. I think that she is so valuable. I mean, we were just gushing about her on the 9x9 the other day about how much of a difference maker she is. She's unbelievable on offense, and she passes 2/3 of the court and might be the best serve receiver on the planet at every position. I think this is pretty much a no-brainer first pick. I think she's Brazil's best and most important player. And there's going to be a lot of draft strategy here on who, like, what countries we pick when. But as far as an outside hitter to build my team around, I couldn't pass up the chance to pick Gabi first overall.
She just passed an overpass as you picked her. So I think that's an omen that she doesn't want to play for your team right now, Rob.
Oh yeah, that's so.
Yeah, that is so. I mean, hey, that's a respectable pick. I like that. I'm gonna have to go with Melissa Vargas with my number one pick.
Okay, that's a pretty good
Um,
pick as well.
to me, she has just been so dominant so far this VNL. She's absolutely automatic. She hasn't been playing this week, which is probably why Turkey lost to Japan. But yeah, Melissa Vargas, to me right now, the way she's playing, she might be the best opposite in the world. Of course, Agonu isn't on the list because she's not playing. Hawk is in the Golden League, so she's not available. So of the opposites available in the VNL, to me, Melissa Vargas, hands down the best.
I kind of agree with that. So worthy of a high pick for sure. And I'm really fascinated to see how the opposite position goes here, because there are several really good ones even without Egonu and Hawk. But really, that best player in the world conversation for the last couple of years has been 3 players, and now it is absolutely 4 players. Melissa Vargas is absolutely in that conversation now. Where's she at in like all of VNL scoring? I think she's
She's like what? She's
7th. Yeah, 7th with 162 points, and she hasn't even played all the games. Like she's
4th.
Oh, 4th. Maybe
in scores. Yeah, she's 4th in scores.
Okay, maybe I'm looking at the wrong list. Yeah, she's insane. She's absolutely incredible.
Actually, mine was the list I'm looking at was done yesterday, so it might be. Oh yeah, she moved down to 7th. You're right.
Okay, because
just because of the match overnight and whatnot.
Just going on overnight. Okay, Melissa Vargas is a really good pick. I mean, she's very worthy of being drafted very, very high. So that leaves that means I can save another Turkish pick if I want it for much later, and you can save a Brazilian pick if you want it for much later. That, like, another thing to think about here is that we're drafting 12 players each. There are 16 teams in the VNL. So there's going to be 4 countries that each of us do not draft. One of them will absolutely be Korea. There's no way either of us are drafting a Korean player.
I have notes on literally every single team. Like, dude, I have different directions to go for every single team. Korea, left blank.
Me too.
Left blank. No need for it.
I have the exact same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
With my next pick, I am going to my libero position.
Okay, you're going. Okay.
I'm going to my libero position, and you already know who it is. I'm picking Brenda Castillo of the Dominican Republic. She is by far the best player on her team. She has a case for being the best libero in the world. And I mean, as far as Dominican Republic picks go, maybe you can pick one of the big arms that they have on the wings, but like that's nowhere even close to the caliber of player of Brenda Castillo. I think I get a ton of value from my Dominican Republic pick using it on her. And she could easily be the best libero in the world. I would probably argue that she is. And think about my reception unit, Gabi and Brenda Castillo, whoever the second outside hitter is, it doesn't even matter. She doesn't even have to pass. With those 2 players that I already have, we're going to be the most in-system team of all time. So I'm stoked about the Brenda Castillo pick.
A little bit of, slight towards Braylon Martinez, who up until like today was leading the VNL in scoring. So, just there's a little bit
scoring stats, just pure volume scoring stats are not everything, Everett, and you know that.
Yeah, but I mean, I know, I'm well aware, but I'm just saying it's not like there's no one worthy to pick on the Dominican Republic.
But nobody as worthy as Brenda Castillo. I'm thrilled with that pick.
Okay, yeah, that does make sense. I do agree with that one. Oh, I did all this research on who I wanted to pick, but I didn't really pick, where I wanted different
think about
players.
it in order. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tricky. Can't wait to see what Canadian pick I can steal from you.
I mean, there's a few here that I could go with, so I'm not too worried about that. Like, okay. I've got a few different Canadian girls on my list here, so I'm actually gonna wait to pick my Canadians. Right now, I think I want a left side.
Okay,
but who do I want? That's my big question. Is who do I want?
I think the outside position is really interesting because I think in the world right now there's a lot of very good outside hitters, but the only truly great outside hitters I would argue
Is
are Gabi and Arina Fedorov-Seva, who's not
and
eligible for this.
yeah, exactly. So it's that one is a little bit tougher. Um, actually, I'm gonna go with Serena Koga
Okay, good pick. That is a good pick.
on the left side from Japan. Oh yeah, Nishida. Sorry, Koga Nishida.
Just
She's
Nishida now.
leading Japan in scoring so far, 156 points. You know that she's going to solidify that serve receive, just going to be able to release Vargas to go bang some balls on the right side there.
That's a pretty good pick. Yeah, I think what your team kind of needs now is elite ball controllers, and you just got one.
Yeah.
I like the way that fits so far. That's a very good pick.
I kind of wanted to pick Seki as my setter, but I think there's some other good setters out there, so we'll see.
Yeah, that would have also been a worthy Japanese pick. Who she's also on my list. I might now be able to save her later if I want for my Japanese pick. I'm also going back to the outside hitter position. I'm going with by far the best player from her country, in my opinion, and I'm going with Li Yingying from China. I'm going with the lefty. I think that
Isn't she an opposite?
oh no, no. She is an outside hitter and she lines up on the left. She is a left-handed outside hitter, and she is a world-class scorer as far as VNL goes. She is second in the tournament in scoring right now, at least right now, behind only Magdalena Stysiak. And I love this pick because I don't honestly know who else from China I would have picked, and that like is Li Yingying the third best player like in my list eventually? Maybe not, but in terms of draft strategy and value out of my one Chinese pick, I really wanted to get her as early as I could. So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I think she's fantastic, but I don't know if she'll be on your starting lineup.
Maybe not.
Come the end
Maybe
of
not.
it,
But that's
right?
okay. This is a draft strategy pick. I'm not necessarily picking my starters in my first 7 picks.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Same with Serena Nishida. I'm not sure if she's going to be one of your starters. Well, I guess it depends on who you pick.
I mean, she's pretty up there in terms of elite outsides in the world, especially in the VNL at this point in time. So, but you could be right. You could be right there. I really wish I wasn't this hungover to do this. did a lot of prep for this, but getting that prep from from my head
filter it through that beautiful brain of yours.
Yeah, exactly. Is is a little bit difficult. Where do I want to go with this?
By the way, it's worth bringing up that like the position breakdowns we have on the screen are like kind of traditional Olympic style: 2 setters, 2 opposites, 4 outsides, 3 middles, and 1 libero. If you wanted to change that around, you can. By the way, I think we both kind of stuck to this for our men's drafts, but if you wanted to change that position allotment for the women's, you could. Just to put it out there.
Okay, I'm going to go with a player. This is also going to be a bit of a draft strategy pick. A player that has led their team so far in many categories, but has also been one of the best passers. Yeah, one of the best passers in the tournament. I'm going with Jolien Nolma from the Netherlands.
Okay. Did I spell that right? Yeah, I think I did.
Yep. You spelled that.
Okay.
That right.
That is an interesting draft strategy pick. I think there's because I was thinking about the Netherlands as well. When we've talked about the Netherlands this tournament, they're a core team. They're not going to get relegated. It seems like they're using a chance to just try some things out, and the result of VNL necessarily isn't their top priority. And we've seen a lot of different players from them already. But in terms of players to be drafted, I thought they might have had a couple better options than that.
You think
So
so?
I do. I do think so. So we'll I guess we'll see. I now can save my Netherlands pick for later. Okay, man, who do I want to go with next? I'm gonna go with a player who has not yet played this VNL, and this is the one that I'm not exactly sure if she's eligible, and I think it's worthy of conversation. I'm gonna pick Joanna Volos of Poland.
I knew you were gonna pick Volod.
I want her as my setter. I know she hasn't played yet this VNL. I'm pretty sure she's not on a roster this week, but
she's not on a roster this week, and I don't know if she's gonna play. I don't know if
let me look. I mean, she's obviously on the preliminary roster, so that is not a question. But I think that unless it's been announced that there's no way that she will play VNL, I think it's fair to assume that once Poland gets to the finals, they're going to bring her because she's the best setter on the planet. But I mean, I don't know that for sure. Anybody in the chat watching right now, do we know anything about is Volos do we know that Volos is not going to play VNL at all, or is there a chance that she will? Because I think if there's a chance that she will, I think that she should be draftable.
I just asked the Discord as well.
Okay, nice plug for the Volleyball Source Discord.
Absolutely. I just searched Asia Volos, or not. Sorry, not Asia Volos, Joanna Volos. And the first story that pops up is sexy volleyballer Joanna Volos poses naked again with trophy and
Oh, what a headline. I think I remember that. That was part of their really drunk Champions League celebration from a year or two ago.
2 years ago. Yeah, back when when her and Agonu won it together.
Okay, well, we have dang it. All right, Basil in the chat says that Volos will not play VNL. She hurt her wrist. She's coming back for Eurovolley. I've seen her on Instagram like warming up, setting balls recently. So I wasn't sure if she was going to be back in time for VNL, but if you say she's not going to play VNL at all, then I guess that she is not eligible, and I will find somebody else to draft. Dang it, that would have been that might have won me the draft right there if she had been eligible.
Yeah, no Volos for you. Thank you, Basil. I appreciate you coming in clutch like that.
Dang it. Okay, well, to pivot from that, I think that we were talking about the best player in the world conversation surrounding the opposite, and two of those players in Isabel Haak and Paula Egonu are not eligible to be drafted. The other two are Melissa Vargas and Tiana Boskovic, and I think that I cannot let you also take Tiana Boskovic, so I'm going to have to take her right now. I know that she wasn't quite as good at the very end of her club season.
Hey, she's still quality.
She's still quality.
She's still quality.
She's the reigning World Championship MVP.
Yeah, Euros. They've won Euros. The defending Euro. Are they defending Euro champs? No, they're not the defending Euro champs. That's Italy on the men's side. That has both the men and women, both World Championships and Euros.
So yeah, I mean, obviously Boskovic was going to get picked. I think that I might as well lock her down now. I don't know if it would have made sense for you to draft her. I wasn't sure if you were planning on drafting her to just for the sake of taking her away from me, but then you would have had to have one of those two players on the bench. I'll take Boskovic. Yeah, I'll take her as my starting opposite.
To me, it was like Vargas to me is more dominant right now than Boskovic, and that's just too much drama. You can't have Boskovic and Vargas on the bench. That is just absolutely too much, and I'm not here for it. So
I agree that Vargas is probably has the higher draft stock right now. I think that's definitely fair. So now you can save a Serbian pick for later. We have yet to overlap in countries, which makes sense given how we're structuring this thing. So you're up.
All right. As an outside hitter, now she's played a little bit of outside. She's played a little bit of opposite so far this tournament. I'm going to go with Hannah Orthman of Germany.
I like that pick. She was on my list.
Yeah. She's one of the top right now. She's in sixth in scoring for a German team that has actually been quite good. Heinen has been doing a fantastic job with that team, and that team it looks like they're going to the playoffs. Right now they're sitting in third at 7-2. This is a surprisingly good German team, and they're only 2 points off Poland and the USA.
Yeah, I think that's a really good pick. That she was top on my list as far as German players, and yeah, you're right. She's played both wings. They've done a little bit of 3 outside hitter thing this VNL. They've done a little bit of putting Orthman at true opposite, and it's worked for them. They are a huge pleasant surprise, and it does look like they're going to the playoffs. So I like that pick a lot. I think that makes.
I think they're confirmed. You know, they would even if they lost all 3 of their games, they're still finishing 7-5.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's 7-2 right now. That's pretty incredible. I think 6 wins will probably get you into the playoffs. Ooh, well, maybe not. There's 7 teams right now that have 6 wins. And
although Germany does have a gauntlet to finish with.
They've got a
Poland, Serbia, USA. That might be the toughest schedule to finish anyone off. That is not a lot of fun.
That's tough.
That's when you're going to see where they're at. I expect them to get a win out of that. I expect them to get at least 1 win. I don't expect them to beat the USA.
I mean, I honestly think they kind of could beat the USA, especially if it's in the last match and we kind of have things locked up as the 1 seed, which is possible. I don't know. We did just beat Poland, who is our main chaser for number 1 in the tournament. Yeah, Germany is good. I think, they'll definitely make the playoffs with 7 wins. I think if you get to 7, you're in for sure. But yeah, they're going to have an interesting week. I like that Orthman pick a lot. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, So none of us have picked a middle or a setter yet. I'm wondering if now's the time. Yeah, because I really wanted Joanna Volos. I think that would have won the draft for me. There's also the question of what are we going to do with the USA, because there's so many really good players.
The USA is honestly so tough.
It's so tough.
Everyone is really good and everyone is solid, but I don't think any of the USA players at the moment are worthy of starting.
Like on a superstar team, honestly, maybe not. And that's kind of been the USA's thing ever since we won the Olympics, is that where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. We don't have we have one player that is close to a world-class, superstar scorer, but definitely not in the Vargas Bošković category. And everyone else is just an above average role player sort of character. And that makes it hard to draft the US in this list. But I think I'm going to go to a country that is equally weird in terms of this particular draft, and that's Italy. And Italy is really weird because they've played a B team the entire tournament, and I think that takes almost all of their normally extremely good and draft-worthy players out of the mix. And I'm going to go with Anna Danesi in the middle.
Fuck, I knew that was my next pick. My last pick, I was like, I want either Orthman or Danesi, and I should have gone with Danesi. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm going with Anna Danesi in the middle because everybody else on Italy has been a B teamer at best. They haven't brought any of the normal starters, like the people that we would expect to start at Eurovolley and Olympic qualifiers. We just haven't seen any of the Italian stars, and normally there would be so many Italian players to choose from. But now I kind of think Danesi was just it. I think that she was it. And even if Italy does make the playoffs, which is iffy at best right now, they're hanging on by a thread in 8th. I'm not sure if we're even going to see the star players, even if they do make the playoffs.
There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Agona's already announced that she's not playing, and Oro has just been all over Instagram partying, which has been awesome. Awesome.
Good for her.
Love that. She's been in Argentina, hanging out with the Checo. Are they the best volleyball couple in the world right now? They have to be.
They're up there. They've got
them and then the Nishidas, right? With Serena.
The Nishidas is a great volleyball couple as well.
Right?
That's an amazing volleyball couple.
And that one's like they're married.
They are.
Right? So,
we might have to make a video about this.
Yeah, just break down all the top volleyball couples. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that.
that would be
Hit us
fun.
hit us in the chat of who else you think we should pick.
Atanasievich and Vasileva from Bulgaria. That's a pretty good,
Ooh, that is
slightly aging, but good one for the 2010s decade for sure.
yeah, you're right.
All right,
Okay.
so I'm thrilled to steal that
Hmm.
Denesi pick from you. Where are you going to go from here?
I think I'm gonna go with hmm. I'm gonna go with a setter, and I'm gonna go with a setter who I really think is the centerpiece of the offense that her team runs. And this is a team that is a little bit uh, unconventional, and they haven't necessarily been having the best tournament. But I'm gonna go with Kongyat Pornpun
Hmm.
from Thailand as one of my setters. I think she runs a fantastic offense. I think her location is really, really good. She delivers it well. She just spreads it out nicely, and I think that's going to be a nice fit. For it looks like I've got quite a ball control team, and Melissa Fargus just bang right now, which I'm not overall mad about.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, this is an interesting pick. I was thinking about Thailand as well because they have like I don't think they have any player that would start on an all-star team, but certainly some of them have utility and just because of the play style and the skill, I think some of them do fit. I think Pornpun fits. I hope that you can pick a better starting setter over her though for your sake because she's small, she's a blocking liability for sure. She's a really good defender. And I think that the right way to use her would be in the double sub, like to play the backcourt.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I think you need another setter than that. And I'm going to stick in the
Duh.
setter category, and I'm going to pick that this is probably my starting setter, who I think can play all six rotations. And I was really 50-50 on going from this country, but I'm going with Bree King from Canada.
I knew it was
I'm
going to be
going
Bree. I
I'm
knew you
going
were
with
going to.
I'm going with Bree King from Canada. I really like her all around game. I love her size. I love her decision making. I love her hands. I don't think she has any weaknesses, and I think she's the right player to set the characters like Boshkovich, Gabi, Li Ying so far, Denesi in the middle. I think that she's going to fit well with all those people and is going to serve the ball in bounds. She's going to block some balls. I think that she's a pretty
She's going to
good
be a
all around fit.
fantastic leader for you too.
Yeah.
Like she's going to be a fantastic leader for you. So yeah,
So
I
that
think that's a fantastic pick. She was high up on my list, of
I
course.
was really 50-50 on my Canadian pick between her and one other pretty obvious player. So
Yeah, you're right.
so yeah, that's probably going to be my starting setter.
Mm.
All right, you're up. You've got all three middles and your libero left to pick.
So there's two of your countries that you've already picked that I'm picking between either a middle or a setter.
Hmm.
Middle or a setter from two of those countries. And one of those countries, there's two setters to pick from, and it's controversial even to decide between one of the two.
Oh.
I think you know who I'm talking about here.
I think I probably do. Let's hear it. Make a pick out there, kid.
Ah. Okay, well,
Making weird noises into the microphone instead of making a pick is not great content, Everett. Let's get
no,
after
I
it.
know. I'm trying to decide here. Um, Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with a middle blocker.
Okay.
Out of Poland right now,
Oh.
who's been probably the best middle blocker so far in this tournament and has really held them down. I'm going with Korneluk out of Poland
That's a pretty good pick.
as one of my middle blockers.
That's a pretty good pick. She has been very good. She's really big, obviously. That certainly helps. I
32
would,
blocks so far,
yeah,
leading the VNL.
that is a huge blocking output. I think that, yeah, just her being a presence and a force in the middle, it makes her a pretty good pick. Is she the best middle in the world? No. Is she the most dynamic? No. But she's really big. I think that has a lot of value, and that's the first Polish pick off the board. So yeah, I like that. That makes sense. Okay, so now we've made 6 picks each, and we've in total picked 12 different countries. So now, like the rest of the way, we could just pick the countries from the other side of the board that haven't been picked yet, and we're kind of in the clear as far as that goes. However, there are a couple big countries. Well, let's see. I guess just the USA. The USA is the only like contender sort of country that we haven't picked anyone from yet.
Yeah, I fully agree as well.
And how do I want to allocate my positions? Who do I want to use for the USA, man?
Come on, Rob, this isn't good content. Oh, by the way, it's 2-2 in Brazil versus Italy. Brazil's leading 7-6.
Oh, okay. That's spicy. All right, I'm glad you brought that up. All right,
Dobby, nice kill. 8-6 now.
Okay, man, I think I want to use my USA pick on the middle, and I think I'm going to pick Chaka Bogu. I think
she hasn't played though.
Not yet, but she absolutely will in the final, and that has been confirmed. She's not on the roster this week, but they have absolutely said that she's going to play in the final in Texas, especially being a Texas girl. That I don't think there's any way that you can keep her out. She's been like very minorly dealing with a knee injury, so they've just kept her out. But she's absolutely going to play the VNL final. I think she's absolutely eligible to be drafted, and I think as far as like American players that are ranked in the top couple in their position group in the world, I think Agbogu is the one. I really do. Okay. I love that pick.
That's fair. I think I'm going to go the other way.
Confirms that in the chat, by the way, that Agbogu will play the finals.
Fair enough. That's a little frustrating because when I was planning my stuff, I wasn't even thinking about that kind of bullshit. It's like, oh yeah, they're going to play the finals. So I was just going off players who was on rosters or have played. But I'm actually going to stay in the same line of the USA, and in the middle, I'm going Haley Washington.
Ooh.
I'm going the other starter for the USA in Haley Washington in the middle. And you know what? As much as I love Chaka Bogu, Haley Washington, just with her fire, like I love watching Haley Washington play. She's fantastic.
I like her too, but I think I beat you easily head to head on that exact pick right there. I think Agbogu is absolutely the better world scale player right now.
Fair enough.
That's an opinion. I think that's fair. Okay, now I'm gonna start going to. I have a couple really high caliber countries left to pick, and I have a couple weird countries that I'm going to need to fill my roster with somehow. How do I want to allocate those positions? Let's see. I think I have one. I think that I want my backup setter. I think I want kind of my 6'2" backcourt off the bench setter to be Nanami Seki from Japan.
Okay. That's pretty good.
I think she's perfect in that role. I think she's like basically the same reason you picked Pornpoon from Thailand. I think Seki fills the same sort of lane, but maybe even a tiny bit better. So I'm pretty happy with that pick. Her off the bench to set for 3 rotations, I think is going to be pretty awesome. That also depends on who I pair her with as my backup opposite. But I really like the Seki pick as far as Japanese players go. I thought about picking a Japanese outside hitter to kind of round out my core.
There's so many.
There are some really good ones, but I was thinking about like the utility of the backup setter in the 6'2", and that I wanted Seki in that spot, so that's the pick.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pick with an obvious one for me. I'm gonna go outside hitter Alexa Gray.
Yep.
To me,
knew that was coming.
that pairing of Nishida and Alexa Gray on the left side is absolute money. Is just absolute money. One, ball control. Nishida can be the P2, and Alexa Gray can just swing away. She's one of the top scorers so far in the VNL. She's like a top 5 scorer. Third best attacker. Where is she in scoring? Fifth in scoring right now with 163 points. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going with Alexa Gray.
Alexa absolutely had to be picked. This is a no-brainer.
Oh, without a doubt. And to be honest, that's why I kind of left Canada a little bit later, because I thought you were going to go with Alexa right off the bat, like you did with Stephen Marr on the men's side. But and then I was like, I had no problem going with Brie King after that. So yeah.
Okay, good pick. That is it for your outside hitters. Unless, I mean, if you wanted to, you could choose to pick a 5th outside hitter instead of a second opposite. I think that.
Trust me, I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Okay. Very interesting. I'm going to go with my second opposite right now. And it's from a country that we haven't picked. And it's funny because these two opposites played club together this year in the very same role. And I'm going with Samantha Fabrice of Croatia.
Oh.
I think she's the absolute perfect backup opposite. Absolute perfect backup opposite. We even saw it this year for Zajabacha.
So you believe Stesiak on the bench, like just gone?
Yes, I am. I thought about it. But I think I'm going to be able to use Poland elsewhere. I'll put it that way. So I like getting a Croatian pick. I think there are really only 2 players worth drafting from Croatia, and Fabrice is one of them. And I think that putting her with Boskovic is a pairing that we've literally already seen. I think it works out pretty well.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know if that's necessarily. I think there's better players on the board, but I respect that.
It's kind of a draft strategy pick.
Yes,
and obviously Boskovic is my starter.
So I'm. See, I have two very good all-stars to pick as my setter. And that will determine what other middle blocker I'm going to pick.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I'm also going to pick my libero. And I'm going to be interested to hear from you who you thought was going to be the other Croatian player, because I'm going with Izabela Stimac as my libero from Croatia. She is currently the top-rated passer in the VNL, and she's the second best digger in the VNL. So statistically, she has been the best libero in the VNL this year. She's actually usually a setter, but has been playing libero for Croatia for this one. And in watching my team Canada crush Croatia the other morning, she was the one Croatian player that actually stuck out to me. Fabrice was very average. She hasn't been playing at all, but Stimac has been the best Croatian player, bar none, throughout this tournament. And she is right at the top of the top receivers, and also at the top of the diggers as well. So I think Izabela Stimac. Izabela with a Z, actually.
Oh, thank you. That is, I totally did not see that pick coming. That is completely out of left field. But you already have somebody in the chat, our friend Luke, saying that Stimac is really underrated. So maybe you got a little diamond in the rough there. I think that makes sense for libero.
Who was your other top player that you thought about picking from Croatia?
From Croatia is Bojana Budigan in the middle for sure. She's absolutely their second best player.
Yeah, we haven't really seen her much yet, but you're right.
Okay, so yeah, you've got a setter and opposite in the middle. I've got 2 outsides and a middle. I definitely know who 2 of those 3 picks are going to be, and I'm just going to go with one of the outsides right now, and it's Nika Dalderop of the Netherlands.
Okay.
I have no idea why you would pick Jolien Nolema over Nika Dalderop. I completely don't understand that.
Because even now, when Dalderop's on the roster, Nolema's been better than her.
I'm thinking more like the prestige of the player rather than just this tournament. I think that it's pretty clear, at least to me, that Dalderop is a better player than Nolema. But maybe statistically in the VNL, maybe you're right about that. But I think that Dalderop is definitely a better overall player than Nolema. And I don't think that I'm probably not going to use Dalderop to start anyway, but I like her play style. I like her arm. And I think that she has utility. I don't know where you would use Nolema in your lineup. She would be probably your fourth outside hitter.
For some reason, I thought Dalderop was way older than she is. She's pretty young. She's a 98.
Yeah, I would have thought that she was closer to my age, like a 95 or a 94. All right. Only a couple picks left. Everett, you've still got Brazil on the board.
Yes.
You've still got Italy on the board if you want to use it. You've still got, let's see, like Dominican Republic on the board. You've still got Serbia on the board. The world champions. Let's see. What are you going to do here?
See, my big question is, do I pick a Brazilian setter or do I pick a Serbian setter? Right? That is my
that I think that's the question, is between setter and middle blocker. I think there is a great option for Brazil in both, and there's a great option for Serbia in both. And I'm curious to see which one you're going to go with.
I think fuck. Burkai already chirping. I'm surprised Reeking got selected. Oh, shut up, Burkai.
Yeah, we don't need to listen to Burkai.
No, we don't at all. You know what? I'm gonna go as so I'm actually gonna pick. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna pick a fifth outside
hitter. Okay.
Because I have and this one, along with Hannah Orthman and maybe even Alexa Gray, all three of them can either play on the left or the right.
That's true.
But I'm going with Braylon Martinez from the Dominican Republic as one of my outsides in general, because Orthman's been playing either pin. We've seen Braylon Martinez play either pin. Alexa Gray has played either pin, so I think you got Vargas as that number one. And then if you need someone off the bench, whichever one of those three is on the bench, you can go to.
I actually like that pick a lot. I think that depending on the team in women's volleyball right now, some of them do have those players that can legitimately play on either wing. Some of them are kind of interchangeable like that. And obviously Vargas is going to be your starting opposite, but you do have three of your outside hitters that can legitimately play on the right in a pinch. And I think that is a creative and cool way to structure your team. So I like that pick a lot. All right, my last two picks, I absolutely know who they are. One of them is a no-brainer. Zara Güneş in the middle from Turkey. That is an absolute lock. Excuse me while I get all the little accent marks correct. Here we go. I mean, she's a world-class middle blocker. I think she's Turkey's second best non-opposite player. It would have been really interesting if we had picked Vargas and Karakurt on either side, but I think Güneş is more valuable than Karakurt, and my middle blocker group is unbelievable. My middle blocker group puts yours to shame. I got to be honest.
Does it? I don't really know.
Absolutely.
I don't really know.
Without question. It's
I don't really know.
Without question. All right, so you've got a Brazilian and you've got a Serbian. You've really got to pick those two countries with your last
it's basically the conversation is do I pick a Macris or the problem with Serbia is you've got Durca or Odnjonovic, right? Because both of them are there. And then do I go with if whoever setters I pick, either I'm going with Thaisa from Brazil or I'm going Stevanovic from Serbia.
That, I mean, you're omitting. I'm not going to tell you anything. Who's your pick? What are you going to go with?
What you think? Carl from who
I'm not going to tell you anything. This is your draft. This is your draft. And you know the countries. Let's see it. Make the pick.
Yeah, I know. Shut up. Oh, I don't know, Kironeri. I don't know if I'm picking Thaisa or Carol. Um,
That's an absolute no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer.
is it though?
Yes.
I don't know if it is.
I know exactly what I would do in this situation. And we can talk about it, but let's do it. Let's get after it.
Or choose Korean players. Imagine if I
If you got all this way with Brazil and Serbia left on the board, and you pick a Korean player, that would
pick,
be
pick
really funny.
pick a Korean player. I honestly couldn't even tell you any of the Korean
Me
players.
neither.
I haven't watched 1 second of them in
Why would
VNL,
you?
and I did no research on their roster. None
They're not worthy of our time or our conversation.
none whatsoever. Win a match. Just win a match. Um fudge.
Come on
My
now.
big thing is like, do I want Macrease or do I want Ojanovic? Like, I really like Macrease, but the problem is I'm rating right now. I'm currently rating the Brazilian players higher in my head than the Serbian players.
Serbia just won the world championship.
Yeah, but I know they did it twice too.
Yes, they did.
Which I wonder if that's going to be harder or easier to do now that there's more world championships.
Good question. That is a conversation for another time. Stop stalling and make
Yeah,
the pick.
the problem is I'm looking at the chat and the chat
Don't
is
do
all.
that.
I know,
Don't
I
do
know.
that.
That's a terrible decision.
Be your own man. Figure it out. Make the pick. Because yeah, the chat is all over the place. Ignore them, Everett. Do it.
Fuck it. I'm going with Macrease. Let's
Okay.
go. Let's do it. I'm going with Macrease. And then you might as well just fill it out now because everyone knows I'm going with Stevanovic, Joanna Stevanovic, in the middle as well.
Yep. Yep. No brainer there. That is one of the two things that I would have done. I mean, Stevanovic was a no brainer for Serbia if you went that way in the middle. I probably would have picked Durcha and Carroll. I probably would have picked Durcha at center and Carroll in the middle. Carroll is an infinitely better pick than Thaisa, and I don't even think it's close. But with my last pick, I'm going. I need one more outside hitter. I'm going to Poland. I'm going with Olivia Rozanski. I think she's the perfect sort of character to round out my group here. Give me a second while I correctly get all these ridiculous Polish accent marks in her name. There we go. Yeah, I like Rozanski a lot. I think she's well rounded and she's played the Italian league. She's a good option off the bench for really, well, Gabi's never coming out the game, obviously, in my team. So really any of those other three outside hitters you could pair with Gabi perfectly fine and have an unbelievable roster. So that's how I wanted to use my Polish pick because I was thinking about Croatia and I was just thinking about a fourth outside hitter and like what's the highest quality country that I could use in that spot. I actually thought about a Thai outside hitter. I thought about like Chachuan or a Jaraporn. But could have gone that way. I think that player would have had utility too. But yeah, I wanted Rozanski, and I thought Fabrice was going to fit well as my second opposite. So that's it.
There's only one viable Chinese player to pick Kuluwait. Okay, he picked Li Yingying first.
Yeah.
Who else am I going to pick from China?
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I don't think there is another viable Chinese player to have picked.
Yeah, there's no need to pick a Chinese player after Li Yingying.
Yep. Okay, so that's our list. Everett, of your 12, who's your starting 7?
Okay, Macrease is obviously my setter. Obviously, Stimac is going to be my libero. I'm going Washington and Stevanovic in the middle.
Okay. Obviously, Vargas on the right. That's a no-brainer.
Vargas on the right. And I'm going Alexa Gray and Nishida on the left side.
Okay.
Koga, Nishida, whichever way you want to go with that.
Okay. Mine's pretty clear. Well, except my second outside hitter, honestly, I don't know. Bree King for sure, Tiana Boshkovich for sure. I would go with Ogbogu and Gunesh in the middles, the Vakif Bank duo. Castillo at libero for sure. Gabi at outside. But next to her, next to Gabi, let's start Li Ying. I'll start Li Ying and then have some options for her off the bench. That's
All
my
right.
starting seven. Okay,
Ying.
got any? What was that?
Is she a good passer?
I'm not sure. Probably statistically nowhere near as good as Gabi or Castillo, but it doesn't really matter, which is the beauty of it because she can take a sliver of the court and Gabi and Brenda can pass the rest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Her
her passing is 20%, 28% perfect. She's been aced 33 times.
That's a lot.
Which is a lot.
Okay, compare that to Alexa Gray.
Let's see.
What are Alexa's passing numbers like?
Where is Alexa Gray? I wish it's so tough to find stats. There's 3 different places for stats for VNL.
It's tough.
Depending on what you want. Alexa Gray has been aced 13 times.
Okay, that's a lot less.
That is significantly less. Although her percentage passing perfect is less than Li Ying's.
Okay.
So I guess they kind of even themselves out in that one.
Okay, you got any honorable mentions? Got some players that could have been picked but were not. I think Carl in the middle was had I not picked Gabi, if you had gotten the first pick and taken Gabi from me, I was absolutely going to lock down Carl in the middle because I think she is absolutely world class. I love her.
Berkai saying Chiaka will miss VNL finals though. She won't play.
I don't think that's the case. I'm the same with what Basil was saying earlier that Chiaka will play in Texas. That
Berkai, come up with some stuff here.
Berkai's Turkish. We don't need to listen to him. We can listen to Basil, who's American and knows what he's talking about.
Fair. Players who were left off. Let's see. Well, just start. Everything I have is alphabetical here. Yordanova was the only option out of Bulgaria.
I think I would never had any intentions of picking a Bulgarian.
No, she's the only option. Yeah. Right. She's actually leading the VNL in blocks right now too, as a left side. So she's kind of been doing it all.
Good point. I forgot about Anna Cristina because she got hurt. I guess we could have picked her because she did play VNL and we're not considering her injury. Wow, that's a slip. I can't believe I forgot about her just because she hurt her knee. That would have been interesting.
There was a couple more from Germany. Weitzel in the middle.
I thought about Weitzel as well.
Has been one of the top blockers, and I think she's their second top scorer as well for Germany as a middle. So that's massive. And all their setter Kostner. Kostner has been having a really good VNL. I think those 3 pieces with those 2 and Orthman, and I think Alsmeyer and Stieglitz as well have been really fantastic for Germany. But those 3 pieces, Kostner, Weitzel, and Orthman, have been the 3. So either of those 2. Obviously, there's Nwakalor from Italy, who is one of the top scorers. But
she's like a backup opposite for this draft.
It's just a lot of volume. Yeah. In reality, that's why she's going. Also, Brazil beat Italy here.
Oh yeah,
in 5 though, which is, I guess Brazil doesn't really have they don't have Anna Cristina. They're missing some players here.
Yeah, I mean, man, to Italy's credit, they've rocked a B team all VNL and they've picked up some wins and they've played a ton of 5-setters. They've played so many 5-setters. I mean, what have they played 10 matches? I wonder how many of them have gone 5. If I can look that up really quick. That's a lot. Any other honorable mentions? Any other players you thought about?
I mean, Stesiak.
Yeah.
Stesiak is an obvious one.
Italy has played 6 5-setters out of their 9 matches. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Perociali, as well from Italy. That was basically
I
Yeah.
thought about her. I thought about her.
Crozier's daughter for vibes.
She's suiting up this week. I think she's on the
Yeah.
roster for Germany.
She
She's
played
16.
points. She's played
Really?
points at 16 years. Yeah, she got subbed in
That's amazing.
in the last game.
So I thought about Satomi Fukudome of Japan at libero.
Mm-hmm.
If I hadn't gotten Brenda Castillo, I absolutely would have picked her.
Yeah, she was the other one.
You also could have there were a bunch of potential Americans. I mean, you could have easily picked Jordan Thompson on the right. You could have picked Justine Wong Arantes at libero.
Oh, I forgot about, and I love Justine Wong Arantes.
Me too.
She might be one of my favorite liberos just to watch in the world.
Yeah, I think she could have easily been drafted, but like there were so many American players, it was tricky to pick one, and I really like Jaco Bogu a lot. But I thought about that. I didn't really think about any American outsides. I probably wasn't going to use a pick there.
They're all just too average.
They each have their own weaknesses, definitely.
Yeah, and they're all really good, of course, and they all work fantastic within that American system. But I wonder why that is. Do you think it's because of the USA and the NCAA and how they do like the subs and the passing? Do you think that's why maybe we're not seeing those elite level left sides from the USA? Like Jordan Larson was really the last one.
I do think that's it a little bit. I am critical of the NCAA substitution system because I don't think it produces great international players, but it's just because my priorities are different. I also thought about Britt Bongarts from the Netherlands as one of my setters.
Yeah, I thought about her too. I thought about her as well.
Yeah, that could have worked. Like I said, I thought about two of the Thai outside hitters, either Chachuan or Ajaraporn. I think that could have been a good like fourth outside character. Yeah, I would have loved to pick Volosh, but that got vetoed because she's not going to play VNL.
Doesn't count. She's not going to play here.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. I thought about Arisa Inoue of Japan at outside if I had needed if I needed her, but I really like my Seki pick as my second setter.
We really need to find someone who like I would love to find a third person to do this with, because I think having one more person and then you're starting to you need to go like 12 players deeper into VNL. I think that's when it starts getting really interesting.
Yeah, I think that would be more fun, and that would make the strategy of when you're picking countries more interesting.
Maybe we need doing some like, is there anyone else in the Discord who wants to start making some content with us? Like you need to like. Honestly, how much fun would it be if we had like we got a bunch of people to apply and we had like a Barstool style like interview process with
just like
with people from the Discord. Yeah, exactly. Like just pick like ask some legitimate questions, but also like ask some like crazy questions. Do it live too, so we can have people from like the chat and the Discord like chirping and whatnot and giving their 2 cents.
Maybe you've got an idea there, or maybe we can pull Dan Manili out of oblivion to come back and talk some volleyball with us.
There's no way. As much as first and foremost, we know Dan only does the men's game, which is fair. It's respectable. Love Dan, but just haven't. I heard from him real quick once the Raptors season was done. Congratulated on him and Kelsey's engagement. That's awesome. Let me know when things have quieted down a little bit. Let's get together. We live in the same city. Like I could walk to his place in 20 minutes, maybe 25 if I'm going slowly and I'm trying to dodge crackheads. Yeah, I've just not. Okay. You live in like the suburbs of downtown in Chicago. I live in the thick of it in Toronto.
Great, congratulations.
I live like right downtown. It's kind of a horror. It's kind of a bit of a horror show right now.
All right.
We need Berkay on the show. Imagine a show where it was you, me, Ronnie, and Berkay.
Oh my God!
Maybe bring in that stooge VT as well.
No, we don't need to talk about any of these idiot French people. We also had a Hall of Fame worst take of all time in the Discord yesterday, saying that Micah Christensen shouldn't be the starting setter for the USA. That was
I was watching that thread. Oh I was literally reading that thread the last night during the award show.
Can't even have conversations.
What are we talking about, Micah Christensen? Like,
Oh
it's
man,
like
so that's a good plug for the Volleyball Source Discord. If you're not in that already, get in there. That is it is quite the place. Lots of fun conversations go on there, including some of the worst takes in volleyball history. So give that a check out. Also, we've got a new Instagram account at Spicy Veebs, at Spicy Veebz, where we're regurgitating some of our memes from the Discord and posting them on Instagram. So give that a follow. It's been already pretty fun so far. Shout outs to our boy Bassie for curating that new account. But yeah, we'll be back. What is it,
if
tomorrow on the 9x9, right?
yeah, we're doing another 9x9 tomorrow. Especially as things get to heat up. Like by tomorrow's show, we're gonna have a really, really good picture of how it's gonna come down to the wire for the playoffs
Right.
and for relegation. It looks like to me, I messaged Bassie and I was like, you know that one Simpsons meme where his dad just like comes into the bar, like puts his hat on the rack, does a quick turnaround and grabs it and walks right back out. Like we need that for Croatia because it looks like Croatia is about to get relegated.
Oh, that's a good one. I know exactly the gif you're talking about.
Yeah. And like Croatia, they are choke shows. They started that first set against Canada up 10-3. And I was just like, oh shit, like this doesn't look good for us.
And
Like
then they
and then
promptly get three donged.
and then they had multiple sets. Like
Hey,
they went like set points in the
Everett,
third.
we've got an entire show tomorrow to talk about this exact thing. Let's save it.
Also, yeah, real quick, someone just said in the Vivian, send us a message. We'll see
Yeah,
if because I think Rob, I'll speak for you as well here. I'd love to have, like, you and I are both very tuned in on the men's side of the game. We would love to have someone who is a little bit is very tuned in on the women's side of the game as well too.
that would be cool.
Because we're pretty good, but we want to be the best, and we want to surround ourselves by the best. So yeah, if you want to join the team, so to say, let us know. Vivian, if you're in the Discord, shoot us a message or get in touch with us.
Yep.
It's the 21st century. I don't need to explain how to get in touch with us. There's a million ways to do it.
That goes for all of you. Thanks for watching. Been a fun little draft. I absolutely dusted Everett just now, and I'm excited.
Man, it's frustrating because once it comes down to these, I mean, we'll see. We would see. I would love. I really wish that we had like a volleyball video game that we could make these teams and play them in each other. You know what I mean? Like if this was soccer, if this was hockey, football, basketball, whatever it is. Hell, I even saw a video game for AFL, like Aussie Rules Football. It was a little garbage, I will admit. I saw it on a TikTok live, but yeah. I just got caught up too much in like my process instead of just picking bangers.
Yep. So we'll put out a little poll here on YouTube shortly to tell you, have you guys vote on who won, but I think it's a no-brainer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern for the 9x9. We'll catch up on women's VNL.
These 11 a.m. shows, though, I'm kind of feeling.
I like them too. We've gotten into a nice little rhythm here.
Yeah, I like this. Right. So we'll have to talk about that in the future.
Thanks for watching, boys and girls. We'll see you tomorrow for the 9x9.
Peace. I gotta poop.